What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man, Snook. Back at it with another video, and today we're continuing our doing yet another toxic tier list ranking. Oh yeah! And today we're going to be doing a tier list ranking of all the X-Men movie mutants, and ranking them. But before we get to actual beginning of the video, what's up, guys? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Just 94 right now, and also maybe help with YouTube algorithm, recommended more people, maybe they could join the toxic fam right in time for my birthday. And do feel free to comment your list down below. But that being said, guys, let's get right into it, and let's go. And I would just like to clarify, yeah, the video is ranking, I know I said it before, but I'm saying it again just in case, because there's some people on the internet, but I'm ranking the movie versions, not the comic books. Anyways, here are the tiers. So we have best of the best, which means they are like the best built character in all the X-Men movies. Great means they're close to best of the best, but there's a flaw with them. Toxic goodness means they were good. They were good, you know? Okay means it's the characters overall mixed bag. There's some good, there's some bad. Meh is they're just there, really. I don't know means like I remember their face, but I don't know where to put them. So I put them in I don't know. Who are ya means who are ya? Who are ya? I don't know you. And then can't rank also means I don't know. I know who the character is, but I haven't seen that movie, so I can't rank them. And then Toxic Crash means dumpster fire, the worst X-Men characters. We're gonna have two people, I think, I don't know. This is gonna be a weird tier list, because there's gonna be like some of them are gonna have multiple versions, and then some of them are not. So, alright, starting off, we have, I'm trying to remember his name is, I think Zero. This is the guy from X-Men Origins Wolverine. If we were ranking powers, he has a pretty cool power, but otherwise, he doesn't really pop up much. So, but overall, I think the scenes that he has at the beginning is really cool. So I'll put Zero, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Agent Zero, that's what his name is. I'll put him at meh, just even though he has really cool sequences. He's just there, he just pops up and he's Stryker's little bodyguard. This guy is from Deadpool, which I haven't seen Deadpool or Deadpool 2, even though I'm seeing Deadpool and Wolverine this week. So I can't rank this guy, and this guy's the villain, I'm pretty sure. Angel, and I was searching, why I was going down is because I can't tell if it has the other Angel in here, or are we just ranking Angel altogether? Because if we're ranking Angel altogether, I'm going to put him in okay. Because the X-Men Apocalypse one that they used was garbage. I didn't like what they did with that. However, X-Men The Last Stand, there was some stuff I liked about it. Like that opening sequence when it had the flashback sequence when Angel was starting to grow his wings as a kid, and his father walks in on him trying to cut him off. That is a very impactful sequence in X-Men The Last Stand. And also when he's about to get injected with the serum to basically get rid of the wings, then he flies away. Those are really good sequences. However, they don't use him at all throughout the rest of the film. He just comes in a little spot later on where he tries to go into Xavier's school, and then also there's the one sequence at the end where he saves his father. So that version goes into okay, but then you also have the Toxic Trash version right here with X-Men Apocalypse, which they just made him a fighter and drinker. So yeah, I didn't like what they did with him. Next up, we got Apocalypse in Sabanur, played by Oscar Isaac, and I think they did good with Apocalypse. I think they did good with the character, making him menacing, and Oscar Isaac delivered a pretty good performance. Even though the actual movie itself, X-Men Apocalypse, is overall a mixed bag. They do a good job of using Apocalypse throughout the movie. So Apocalypse goes good. All right, or Toxic Goodness, I should say. Azazel, one to talk about underrated characters for the X-Men movies. And yes, I know he only pops up once, but I think he's really cool. I'm going to put him in the Toxic Goodness category. It's before Nightcrawler was born, and he has a lot of cool sequences. The fight with Beast a little bit later on the beach was pretty cool scene. Also, how he transports all the people that are watching over Xavier's new mutant students, and he basically just teleports them into the air and then they fall to their death. Most importantly, Oliver Platt's character. That's a pretty cool sequence. And yeah, overall, he has some pretty decent sequences, but I wish they used more of him. So that's why he goes into the good tier, but not as good as Apocalypse. Banshee. Banshee actually gets a lot of character development in First Class. But however, they don't really use him past that because they kill him off secretly in X-Men Days of Future Past. So Banshee, I'm going to put at top of good right now, where they... There's a lot of funny sequences in X-Men First Class, too, where the notable one is where Eric throws Banshee off the thing and says, "Okay, good luck," and then Banshee uses his powers with his high scream voltage. There's some pretty decent sequences with Banshee, so Banshee goes into Toxic Goodness. Next up, we got the Beasts, and we have Kelsey Grammer's Beast, and then we have Nicholas Holtz, which Kelsey Grammer's Beast, yes, he only pops up once. Well, no, he pops up twice, actually, but he's more important in X-Men The Last Stand and X-Men Days of Future Past. He's just a cameo. But Kelsey Grammer goes into Best of the Best. He is a phenomenal performance in X-Men The Last Stand with his performance as Beast, and probably is one of the best parts of X-Men The Last Stand. There's a lot of cool one-liners he has. The makeup and prosthetics they gave to him was overall a good job too. So Beast goes Best of the Best for me. Kelsey Grammer's Beast. And now we talk about Nicholas Holt's Beast, which, before Dark Phoenix came out, I would have probably put him in the great. But I'm gonna have to... this is tough, because I really like his character in Days of Future Past and First Class, but Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix really weigh him down for me. Okay, just in case if there's any other characters I would put above him, wouldn't put above him, I'll put him great for now. It might change, but he goes there right now. If there's a whole lot of people I would put above him in great, then he'll go back down to Toxic Goodness. But yeah, again, what they did with Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse with his character I didn't like, but the other two movies I did. Bishop, again, one-time appearance, but he's actually pretty good. I think he's a good little side character. His absorption power, I think, is really cool. The little glimpses of him we have in X-Men Days of Future Past is really cool, too. And a good actor that plays him as well. So, Bishop goes into Toxic Goodness. I think, let's put, yeah, I like that for right now. Blink, Huh. She doesn't talk much compared to, like, Warpath and Bishop in X-Men Days of Future Past, so that's why I put her in okay. But she's got a lot of cool powers, though. And she has pretty cool power with the teleportation thing, so that's a positive for her, so she goes into okay. Blob. We got Blob. Kevin Durant plays him, so that's a positive, and he's a really talented actor. I think that's very underrated. And he has a funny scene with Logan in the X-Men Origins Wolverine, which overall that's a very jumbled mess, but Toxic Goodness. It's the definition of Toxic Goodness. It's so dumb, but you love it. It's so funny. That over-the-top, ridiculous boxing fight scene with him and Wolverine is hilarious. So, yeah, he goes bottom in Toxic Goodness right now. Cable, I'm sorry, I can't rank because I haven't seen Deadpool 2. So, yeah. Next up we have, Caliban. I think that's what his name is. Yeah, he was, let me hold on a second. Let me add a new category. I don't know. No, okay. Okay, hold on a second. I forgot to add this category. Hold on. There we go. Fix that. Decent. I don't know why I forgot to add that, but I forgot to add that. Decent. Caliban's a decent character, but he's not in Logan much, so. I think her name's Core. I know who she is. I forgot what her power is, but meh. She's just one of Magneto's one of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil mutants that gets sacrificed. Then we got the 2 versions of Colossus. Why do we not have 2 versions of Cyclops? I just realized that. Okay, anyways, that's weird. Wait, is Wolverine even on here? Oh, okay. Okay, Wolverine's on here. Okay, that's good. But Colossus, okay, so we'll put the one from the original trilogy in okay, because he doesn't really do much throughout all the 3 movies. The first one, he's not even in that. Colossus, in X-Men, X2 X-Men United, he just turns into metal, and that's it, and then also saves the kids from the school, so that's pretty much it. And then the 3rd movie, he gets a little bit more to do, but still not a lot, so he goes into, okay, so, yeah. And then we have X-Men from Deadpool, the Deadpool movies. Can't rank them, because I haven't seen the Deadpool movies. Now we're ranking Cyclops as a whole, which this is a tricky one, because as a character, Cyclops, I love. However, what they do with him in the movies, specifically more James Marsden. I love James Marsden as Cyclops, but man, they did him dirty in that original trilogy. I honestly think they used Tyler Shredden. I'm pretty sure that's what the actor's name is. I think he does a better job. They use Cyclops better in those movies. I'm going to put him good. No. Top of decent right now. It's just he gets overshadowed by Wolverine and Jean Grey and stuff, and especially what they did with James Marsden in the 3rd X-Men: The Last Stand. Darwin, that's what this guy's name is. He was cool. It's stupid how he died. How he can absorb power and not. But when he absorbs Havoc's power, he dies by Shaw. So yeah, toxicness. Next up, we got Deadpool. We know where he is going. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that to Deadpool. He's probably cursing me out as soon as I say that. But Deadpool, best of the best. Top of best of the best right now. Ryan Reynolds delivers a lot of charm to the role. He's absolutely hilarious. Why I'm ranking him is because I've seen clips of him more than whatever that guy's name is Cable in Colossus. We've all seen enough of him to put him in best of the best. There's no reason why he doesn't go there. Next up, we got Lady Deathstrike, or some people call her X-23. I'd say she's decent as it gets. She has a really cool fight against Wolverine in X2 X-Men United. But otherwise, besides that, but she's a decent character. Again, haven't watched Deadpool Wolverine, the Deadpool movies. And then we have the 2 Emma Frost, which this Emma Frost from X-Men Origins of Wolverine goes to the bottom of right now because she's just there. Then we have the Emma Frost from X-Men First Class. I think she was used very well in that. Honestly, wait, do I put her in great? I think they used her greatly in that. I'm not gonna lie. They used her greatly in that. Where they made her very seductive, I must admit. And her relationship with all of the the characters throughout the film, I think, is cool too. And she really showcases her powers, not just the Frost abilities, but also that she has mind control too. So, honestly, great. And this is just my list, by the way. I would just like to point out. This guy's from Deadpool 2, can't rank. Gambit from X-Men Origins Wolverine, Taylor Kitsch. One of the better parts of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Right up there with, wait, who was the person I said? No. This is one of the best parts of, better parts of X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'll put him right here for now. I think they use him well, where when he eventually comes back later on in the movie, I think that's pretty cool. And Taylor Kitsch, I think Taylor Kitsch is a good choice to play Gambit. So, and he did a good job with that. So he goes there. Next up, we got Havoc. Havoc goes. Havoc goes great. He had a pretty great arc. Even in X-Men Apocalypse, he had a pretty great arc too before he died. He had pretty where he basically brought Scott to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, and how he tries to save, how he's very loyal to Xavier and he tries to save him last second. So honestly, great. He got some great character development in the movies. Iceman. Whew. This is tough. Ooh. Yeah. We're putting him in great as well. Can't quite say best of the best because Iceman, he's in X-Men 2, an X2 X-Men United, that's the best used version of him, where you have that dynamic between friends with him and Pyro before Pyro joins the Brotherhood, that whole entire banter they have where Pyro doesn't want the humans to be in charge, and then Iceman wants it to be equals to equals, you know? And that whole entire sequence where he basically confesses to his family that he's a mutant, you know? So they do a great job with him in X2 X-Men United. However, in X-Men Days of Future Past, he has some pretty decent moments too, but he's not the main part of that. Then X-Men 1, he has a couple appearances here and there. He's just there to add further tension with Rogue leaving. Then X-Men The Last Stand, that final fight with Pyro is cool, but that love triangle that him, Rogue, and Kitty Pryde had, I just felt was forced. So overall, it goes into great greats here. I have no clue who this is, so I'm gonna put her in. Who are you? Okay, so we have the two versions of Jean Grey. I like Sophie Turner as an actress. But toxic trash. Just the whole entire... What they did with Dark Phoenix, the movie, I hate what they did with that. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I can't forcibly put her any higher than that because of what they do with her in that movie and make her... I do not... they botched that storyline trying to reboot that. In X-Men Apocalypse, she has moments, but the overall not that great. But Dark Phoenix really pushes it down where I can't put her higher than that. Next up, we have Phoenix or / Jean Grey from the original X-Men trilogy. And this might be a hot take for people, but best of the best. I think her overarching character throughout that trilogy is built out well. The first one, not so much because you have the love triangle. Well, she's not as vital to that as she is in Last Stand and X-Men United, but overall she is used pretty decently in that first film, even though she's just a part of that love triangle with Wolverine, Cyclops, and her. So, you know, but X-Men The Last Stand, even though overall she gets kind of overshadowed by Magneto, she still gets some great moments in that. So Jean Grey goes in best of the best. All right, next up we have, this is the kid that stays up all night in X2 X-Men United. I forgot what even his power is. IDK. I don't know what to think, really. I'm the Juggernaut. Bleep. Toxic trash. I mean, that's the only thing that he's memorable. I'm the Juggernaut, female dog. That's pretty much the only thing. And he's too goofy and over the top, so yeah, Juggernaut goes there. Other Juggernaut from Deadpool 2, I can't rank because I haven't watched Deadpool 2. What the? Okay, what happened? I don't know what happened. Is this, I think this is Lady Frost's sister and aka X-Men, Wolverine's love interest in X-Men Origins Wolverine, right? I forgot, Silver Fox? I think that's what her name is. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how to rank her character, honestly. Okay. No. That love interest side of things with Logan, I think, adds something to X-Men Origins Wolverine, but I don't like how they basically just gave Lady Frost, where she gave Logan up just to get her sister back, you know? And the acting in that later on, I don't really, I'm not too fond of that. So, she goes in decent. Kitty Pryde. She has some great moments in X-Men Days of Future Past, I will admit. As for X-Men The Last Stand, she has that love triangle with Iceman and Rogue, which I'm not too fond of that. But however, I'll put her good, because she gets to be a vital point of X-Men Days of Future Past, where she sends everyone to the past to basically fix everything. So, she goes into good. Toxic goodness, I should say. This is Leech. Leech is, I mean, he's a strong point of the X-Men The Last Stand with his healing power, but meh. He didn't do much. Now we have Magneto, played by Michael Fassbender. I do not know why I forgot his name, because he's an underrated actor. Michael Fassbender's Magneto goes into best of the best. I think X-Men First Class, especially what they do with him, is absolutely awesome all the way throughout, because it's, honestly, they could just retitle it the Magneto movie, because it is mostly his story where you're following, and he's just wanting revenge to eventually kill the person that killed his mom. So, and to an extent, there's some parts of X-Men Apocalypse where you feel for him after his family gets killed, basically. Then he eventually saves and helps the X-Men defeat Apocalypse, and realizes that that's not what his wife and family would want, you know? So, he goes into best of the best, honestly, for me. Multi-Man, he was just there. Nah, but that was a cool sequence how it revealed there were multiple versions of him. Mystique, with Jennifer Lawrence. I will say, again, kind of the same thing with Beast. It's kind of weighing her down, but I can admit she deserves to go into best of the best. She does get a lot of character development throughout Apocalypse, Days of Future Past. But Days of Future Past especially, I mean, her character development is up there, where she eventually saves everyone and decides not to kill Bolivar Trask. So, that is best of the best, I think. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I'm pretty sure that's what her name is. Can't rank. The prequel or is this Nightcrawler in general? Okay, this is Nightcrawler in general. If we were talking X2 X-Men United Nightcrawler, I would probably put him best of the best, to be honest. But X-Men Apocalypse Nightcrawler, I'll put him Toxic Goodness. I can't go any higher than that because, again, Dark Phoenix exists. I hate that movie. That, if you guys are wondering if that's like in my worst movies of all time, it is. I hate that. And he gets rarely anything to do that in that. But Apocalypse, yes, some decent moments, you know, but not on the level X2 X-Men United with his character. So he goes good. Next up, we have Magneto's daughter. Rest in peace and all, you know, but meh. Okay then. Who are you? No, IDK, because I do remember his face in X-Men The Last Stand, but can't go any higher or lower than it. So is this Professor X as a whole? Yeah, Professor X as a whole, we all know where he's going. Professor X, played masterfully by Patrick Stewart, and James McAvoy goes in best of the best. There's no doubt about that. Apocalypse, he does good in that. They do good with that, some of the aspects with him in there. First Class also is kind of his story too, but it's more Magneto's, but they follow his story pretty well in that. Days of Future Past, he's a broken character where he's basically gave up his powers to have his legs back, and he's battling with himself to, do I stop taking the serum so I can use my powers or not? So, I like that aspect of his character. And yeah, best of the best. No denying about it. Psylocke, never a fan, to be honest. I was never, okay, I'll put her in meh right now, like bottom of meh. I can't say she's on the level of that. No. Even Juggernaut's better than her, I would say. I don't know. Pyro in X-Men, X2 X-Men United gets a lot of stuff to do in that. I get with the same thing I mentioned with Iceman, how with the whole entire dynamic them two have, where they're butting heads and disagreeing about stuff throughout the film until he eventually joins the Brotherhood at the end of the movie. And X-Men The Last Stand, I think they overall do better with his character than they do Iceman in that whole entire movie. So, well, even though he does, actually, no, I take that back. It's equal, because he's kind of just Magneto's sidekick in that. So, Pyro goes into the great, and maybe after Deadpool Wolverine, I'll change my mind and put him even higher, because it's confirmed in the trailers. He's in there, so. Quicksilver, no, yeah, Quicksilver, I know where Quicksilver's going. Quicksilver going right up into best of the best. Awesome sequences throughout the whole entire movies, even though Dark Phoenix, they have him get injured and never come back later on in the movie. But we're talking about Apocalypse in Days of Future Past here. Has a lot of great standout sequences. In Apocalypse especially, the Sweet Dream scene where he's saving all the people from Xavier's school and getting them out of there to save them. That's a pretty cool sequence. And the whole entire cafe entrance sequence, the cafe sequence in Days of Future Past 2 is awesome. So Quicksilver goes into best of the best. I'll put him above there, honestly. I don't know. This is Quill. I think that's what this dude's name is. Meh. I don't even know who this is. Who are you? No. No, not you, Colossus. I know who you are, but who is that? I don't know. Rogue. Rogue's a tricky one. Because overall, her character in X-Men 1 is a mixed bag, because there's some stuff they do with her that's really good. The whole entire, where she's trying to get rid of, not trying to get rid of her powers. When she's trying to, basically when she's discovering her powers and she's freaking out and stuff and wondering why it keeps on happening to her. That stuff is really good, and the whole entire Magneto thing where she is the person he wants to basically rule the world of mutants, you know, or rule the world. So yeah, she'll go into good. Stop. She'll go into good. X2 X-Men United doesn't get to do much. Then X-Men The Last Stand, she has that love triangle with Iceman and Kitty Pryde. And also, she, for some odd reason, decides to get rid of her powers, so. Sabretooth. So, this is Sabretooth as a whole, not just Tyler Mane version. Okay. I'm going to put him in the Toxic Goodness tier as well. Mostly because Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth, they do awesome with an X-Men Origins Wolverine, which overall, even though they do a lot of stuff in that is way too much, and a bunch of weird decisions, that's for sure. I think that whole entire thing, the brother dynamic him and Wolverine have, elevates that to a new level, so. And Tyler Mane does decent as Sabretooth, even though he's basically, just, Magneto's little pet cat, in X-Men, so I'll put him Toxic Goodness, and maybe after Deadpool and Wolverine, I might change my mind, who knows. Sebastian Shaw, this might be a hot take for some people, again, but Sebastian Shaw, for me, I thought was a fantastic and underrated villain in almost all of comic book history, honestly. Sebastian Shaw goes into best of the best. Just, Kevin Bacon plays him masterfully, and I love the storyline where Magneto's trying to get back at him because he killed his parents, so he wants back at him, and the first Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is actually pretty solid, and he's a great, villain in there. Oh, I just remembered something. This is the Tornado guy. That's who this is. I was confused by the red hair. Meh. Overall, meh. I think he just reminded me of who that was. I think this is a guy that shoots has tree claws or something like that. Who are you? I remember him from that. This guy's just there. He's just there, so I don't know. Interesting power though. The guy that grows everything back, and Wolverine kicks him in his special place, and Wolverine says, "Grow those back." And Toxic Goodness. It's the definition of Toxic Goodness. It's a hilarious sequence where Wolverine just wha-bam and then grow those back. It's so funny. So there's that. Storm. Storm. I'll put her best of the best. Yeah, because X-Men The Last Stand uses her quite well, where she's the new owner of Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. X2 X-Men United, you have that, like, friendship between her and Nightcrawler, which is executed really well. Also, in the first X-Men, she doesn't really get used much, though. So, but she has a cool moment when she kills Toad, so. She goes in best of best, and I think in the first X-Men Apocalypse, they do, they do some stuff with her that I think is good. Sunspot goes into... He was probably the weakest out of the, like, newer X-Men we got in X-Men Days of Future Past, so he goes there. Angel Salvador goes into... Angel Salvador goes into... Ooh, no. I feel like that would be way too much of a hot take if I put her there. But she's good. She's a good character. I do enjoy her in... X-Men First Class. With what they do with her. So, she goes there. Toad. We got Toad, a.k.a. Darth Maul. Because if you guys didn't know that, yes, he plays Darth Maul in Star Wars The Phantom Menace. There you go. That's a little, whatchamacallit, trivia right there. Okay. He's gross. He has memorable gross sequences, but he can't go really higher above that. No! Oh, he'll go top of okay now. This is Viper. I think that's what her name is. She's from the Wolverine. She's the main villain. Decent. She was decent. Where she kept on trying to seduce Wolverine. I liked that, so goes into decent. Warpath. I would say also Warpath. Warpath is, can you go higher, please? Warpath is decent. I would say he's decent. Boo Boo Stewart plays him, aka, Jay from, Descendants. So, yeah, he has pretty cool power, too, so I'll put him decent. This version of Deadpool. Do I put him toxic trash or do I put him like meh? I'll put him toxic trash. I mean, even Deadpool makes fun of him, so I mean that alone puts him there. Wolverine, we know. Come on, he goes there. You know where Wolverine is going. Yeah, probably even. Yeah, I'm just going to wait until I put him there, so I tell you. Scoozy? No, not that. Probably the best out of all the X-Men in the movies. Every single movie, most of the time, except for the most part, the X-Men prequel trilogy, besides X-Men Days of Future Past. All the movies are about him. He's mostly included, X-Men Days of Future Past, he's included in that. But X-Men First Class, X-Men Apocalypse, and X-Men Dark Phoenix, he's not included. Well, he's not a main part of the story. But all the other movies, he's the main part of the movie. And Hugh Jackman, there's never been... He might be up there for the best movie casting in a comic book movie of all time. I know that might be a hot take, but they casted him perfectly. And everyone was so hesitant about it. Will.i.am, I don't know what the character's name is. He has a fun amount of cheesy scenes in Origins of Wolverine where he teleports to, so Will.i.am's character goes in toxic goodness because it is toxic goodness. X-23 getting brought back in Deadpool Wolverine because of the trailers. I'm going to put her right now in the great tier. Do I put her best of best? You do get that relationship with her in Logan and Charles in Logan that is very, 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 very strong. However, yeah, no, I think there's enough merit to put her in best of best. There's enough merit to put her there. Just because how that relationship is so strong and Wolverine was originally hesitant of watching over her, then they start to connect, you know? So, best of the best, best of the best. The other Wolverine that kills Charles, that's the clone. You know, it was a decent idea. I'll put him in decent. I don't know who the heck this is. Who are you? And this guy, I know who you are, but I don't know where to place you, my guy. But with that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this toxic tier list ranking of all these X-Men characters ranked from worst to the best in tier list form. Be sure to let me know your list down below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace out.